Hey YA, we are in Romans chapter 16 today. Paul is closing out his letter to the Romans, and he starts out this chapter by giving a bunch of shout outs. He first commends Phoebe, basically like a letter of recommendation about Phoebe. Phoebe was probably the one who was carrying this letter to the Romans, and she was also a deacon of the church, which means that she was just a servant of the church. And he says, listen, give to her anything that she needs. And then he talks about Aquila and Priscilla and how much he loves them and how they risk their necks for him. They put their life on the line for him. He says to give a shout out to some of his fellow prisoners. He mentions several women here, some sisters. He mentions other married couples who worked in the ministry with him. He mentions Rufus, gives a shout out to Rufus. Rufus was most likely the son of Simon of Cyrene, who helped Jesus carry his cross. And he says of Rufus, and make sure you say to let his mother know that I said hello to, because she was like a mother to me. And Paul goes on and he lists so many other people here. And it occurred to me, like, sometimes we skip over these things. But the reason that this is in the Bible is because it's important, because these people were important to Paul. Paul loved these people, and he was commending them for what they were doing with him in his work for Christ. It would be like if I was writing a letter to you guys as the young adults ministry, and somebody was carrying this letter for me, and I said, hey, make sure to shout out my man Dave, who is with me in this ministry, and make sure you give my love to Emily and Matt and to Kelly and Ryan and to Nick and Michelle, our co-laborers who are serving these young adults faithfully. And make sure you tell Haley and Jillian and Matt and Lais and Deanna and Matthew and Tristan and Brooke and Lucas and Chris and Jack and Joey and Derek and Keegan and Waverly and Lauren and Maverick and Emily and Noel and Michael and Nick and Jesse and Hunter and Alicia and Savannah and Brennan and Brendan and Talia and Maddie and Joshua and Shannon and Grace and McKenna and Michaela and Avery and Mariah and Austin and Lily and Jacob and Rebecca and Sebastian and Becca and Ed and their little baby on the way, and Zach and Skylar and Cole. Make sure you tell them all that I send them my love. But then Paul also says to them, but make sure, my brothers and sisters, that you watch out for those who cause division and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine that you have been taught. So he is telling them, he says, send them my love, but make sure that they stay in the word, that they are wise. And then he ends with this beautiful doxology. He tries to close out this letter 3 different times, and it's like he doesn't want to say goodbye to them. In my family, we call this the Arab goodbye, where we just go around and we hug and kiss everybody, and then we keep talking to them for another hour. Dave actually really loves it when we're leaving a party. But then Paul finally ends the book with this beautiful doxology. I'm going to read it to you. So this is Romans chapter 16, starting in verse 25. Now to him who is able to strengthen you according to my gospel and the preaching of Jesus Christ, according to the revelation of the mystery that was kept secret for long ages, but now has been disclosed, and through the prophetic writings has been made known to all the nations, according to the command of the eternal God, to bring about the obedience of faith. To the only wise God be glory forevermore through Jesus Christ. Amen. So listen, read Romans chapter 16. Know how much Paul was just loved these people who served with him in the ministry. Know how much we love you. Read the word and hide it in your heart.